I didn't think of the $200 as generosity. It was just a line item, like utilities, like insurance, something you keep paid so the system doesn't fail every month, same date, automatic transfer. I never reminded them. I never asked what it went toward. My parents were good at accepting help as if it were owed, and I was good at giving it without asking what it bought me. Distance, mostly. When my daughter turned 10, I told myself this would be different. 10 felt ceremonial. Double digits. She'd been talking about it for weeks, counting down on her fingers, practicing the way she'd say her age out loud. I sent my parents the invitation early, picked a time that worked for them, paid for the cake myself even though my mom insisted she would take care of it. The day came. Balloons, paper plates, the kind of controlled chaos that only exists when children are excited but still polite. My daughter kept glancing at the door. "They'll be here," I said, too quickly. I didn't know who I was reassuring. The chairs stayed empty. The cake sat untouched longer than it should have. Someone cut it anyway, trying to keep things moving. My daughter smiled because she's learned how. She opened gifts. She said thank you. She didn't ask where they were. I waited until the last kid was picked up, until the house was quiet again, until I was alone in the kitchen scraping frosting into the trash. Then I called. My mother answered on the third ring. She sounded relaxed, distracted, like I'd interrupted something pleasant. "We couldn't make it," she said before I even asked. No explanation, no apology. "Is everything okay?" I was a pause, then a laugh. Not sharp, not cruel, casual. Like she was amused I hadn't figured something out yet. "She's not really family to us," she said. "You know that?" I don't remember hanging up. I remember standing there with the phone still against my ear, listening to the dead air until it disconnected itself. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I didn't call my father. Something in me closed neatly, like a file drawer. I cleaned the kitchen. I helped my daughter into pajamas. We watched a movie she'd already seen twice. I laughed at the right parts. I tucked her in and kissed her forehead. She asked if she could keep the balloons in her room overnight. I said yes. Then I sat at the table and opened my laptop. I didn't stop the payments right away. That would have been a reaction. I didn't confront them. That would have been a conversation they could twist. I acted. I called the financial advisor who'd been CI'd on my parents' emails for years, but never spoke unless spoken to. I asked specific questions. I requested documents. I learned exactly where the money went. I learned how much of it was discretionary. Then I called my attorney, the one I'd used years ago for something unrelated. I explained the situation without emotion. He asked if I wanted to pause the transfers. I said no. I want to restructure. I said, there are ways to do that. Legitimate ones. Ones that don't look like punishment but look like prudence. Trusts, conditions, oversight, transparency. We moved efficiently. At the 1-hour mark, my phone rang. My mother didn't laugh this time. She screamed. Not words at first, just sound. Then accusations, then panic, then fury. She demanded to know what I had done. She demanded I fix it. She said I was ungrateful. She said I was cruel. She said I was destroying the family. I let her talk. When she ran out of breath, I said, "I'm still supporting you." "That's not support," she shouted. "That's control." "No," I said. "This is structure." She cried then. Real crying. I waited until it settled. "You said my daughter wasn't family." I said. My voice sounded unfamiliar to me, flat, almost curious. "I'm just aligning my finances with that information." She told me I was overreacting, that she hadn't meant it that way, that I was being dramatic, that I was punishing them. "I didn't change the amount," I said. "I changed the access." Silence. In the weeks that followed, my father tried calling. My mother sent long messages explaining herself, revising history, offering conditional remorse. I responded politely, briefly, only about logistics. At home, my daughter asked why Grandma and Grandpa hadn't called. I told her the truth, adjusted for age. "Some people don't know how to love the right way," I said. "But that's not because of you." She nodded, accepting it in the way children accept weather. Her birthday balloons deflated slowly over the next few days, sagging against the wall. I left them there longer than usual. A reminder. Not of the absence, but of what I chose to protect. I still send the money. Schedule, same amount, but now it has rules. And so do I.